All right. So with this, first, I think I'm guessing a lot of you have seen this before, our mission statement, but the key part here is as we've grown, changed, expanded a lot, made some modifications to our mission statement. But the last part, it's changing, is inspiring handmade, you can kind of say artwork. We still leave it as cards technically, but we are delivering cards, bookmarks, bags, and much more. With this, we saw had a bunch of celebrations and did some more on social media this week because we broke that 1 million card threshold for our delivery. That was something that was big that celebrated. Kind of looking into it, comparing to 2015, that was the goal, was trying to reach 6,060, so averaging 1,515 cards in 2015. That was the goal to the board. And my, you know, quote unquote punishment was that I had to come out of the closet and start telling the story and going to media, et cetera, if we couldn't get it. And we can see in 2015, we couldn't even get 6,000 cards, but now, we had at least over 10,000 cards each month. So how we've been growing consistently through cards, bookmarks. I'm going to be making bags today because I just had a connection with one of our Ronald McDonald houses. So thankfully, we've been contributing primarily organically and expanding our reach. And this part here, in terms of what makes us different, the phrase that I always use is equal opportunity encouragers. There's, from my time, seen that there's a lot of different organizations that have focus on different people or where they're sending cards to, all for very good reasons. A lot of times it's what's sparked by the person, the founder, what they went through. So it'll be like whether it's sending cards to people with cancer or to children in hospitals or seniors, military, any kind of thing like that. For us, it's, as we said, equal opportunity encouragers, sending cards ranging from families in service, families in Indianapolis to orphans in Indonesia, military and all in between. Some other things is delivering the electronics. You can see here that was one that was in Spain. Then, a lot of us are looking forward to, we had the Special Ability Scholarship that we donate, and then also our student program. So, unique organization, and as we see, we've been growing in our card distribution as well. So, another one of the unique things about us is some of the contributions of people who've done it. And I think one of this, my favorite thing about this aspect, yeah, we can celebrate. Favorite thing here is the actions speak louder than words. That's something like a phrase I think we've all heard. And over and over, I hear people say, like, oh, Cardz For Kidz, it's great what you've done. It's really impressive. I love this organization, blah, blah, blah. Hear people talk about the scholarship. It's good that we do what we're doing. And with the scholarship, like the blog post I wrote in 2024, when we grow up, it was all about how that was an
The
aspiration.
announcements for scholarships aren't going to be till later, so we could go in if we want to try to get a better
You
seat.
can mute. Can you mute yourself?
I'm
Yeah,
good with that.
we can all hear you.
Let's
So,
turn the all the way down.
all right. So sorry about that. But with Alan, the benefit of this is that he's, I say this part, exceeding expectations.
I think that's their new car.
He's won the
Oh
scholarship.
no, I think that might be the
One second.
the Kings. No, the Honda.
Mute some people here.
Yeah, Honda.
I don't like this little music. Oh, do you want me to restart again? You good?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
You're good. You're good.
Um, I would like to thank EK for inviting me today to speak at tonight's celebration. I am grateful for the opportunity to share my experience as one of the 2025 scholarship recipients. Receiving this scholarship meant so much more than financial support. It reminded me to it reminded me that kindness and service truly matters, and it inspired me to continue giving back to the community. Scholarship like this encourage students not only to pursue their goals, but also to continue serving others and creating meaningful change. What I love about the Cardz For Kidz is its mission. A simple handmade card can bring hope, comfort, and a smile to everyone who needs it most. Even the smallest act of kindness can make it a lasting difference in someone's life. Because of that inspiration, I'm excited to join my friend who unfortunately can't be here tonight, but will be launching a Cardz For Kidz chapter at Brown College. Our goal is to give students the opportunity to spread kindness, spread serving others, and make a positive impact. And remember, one handmade card at a time. And my last statement is to this year's scholarship recipient, congratulations. I hope this scholarship inspires you to continue leading with kindness and serving your communities. And and remembering that even the smallest act of compassion can make a lasting impact. And thank you very much. And now I would like to turn it back over to Ike.
So thank you very much. That yeah was very touching and was impressive. That's what I think it was when it was originally looking through the scholarship and past winners when I got the email. And I think one thing is looking into launching the student program, it was making sure that I was reaching out different ways and very, we could say persistent, making like wasn't getting a response. And I was like, how can we make sure that how can I make sure that I launch this and get this going at my school, passing it down, handing on the baton to other people so I would be able to continue to keep going. So I'm grateful for that. And that's one of the reasons was for that action speaking louder than words and exceeding expectations. So with this as well is next part wanting to touch on another way of us working together is how we can all work together playing and contributing with these scholarships is just one of the ways that we are raising funds and helping or one of the ways that a financial way that we're spending money. And there's also stuff that's not as pretty, you can say, like shipping cost and all kinds of administrative fees and things that go in. And with this is a way we talked and met with some partners with FamFuel about a way that we can all work together to help us raise some of the funds to cover our back end costs. And one of the parts here I want to say is that often with a lot of the people who are making cards, it's that part here of what's more valuable, time or money. And so, oh, we'll give our time, we'll give our time, we'll give our time. Time is more valuable than money. So with that whole mindset, we thought with this is one way is by giving your time, playing games, you can help us cover our shipping cost. So in order to provide more details, we can go ahead and provide that overview. Mallory, you can
Yeah.
unmute.
Hi guys. Everyone can hear me, right? Want to make sure it sounds coming through? Perfect. Okay, so like he said, I'm excited to share this brand new way you guys can help Cardz For Kidz. And like you mentioned, it'll cost you nothing. So we're called Fan Fueled, and here's the idea. You are already spending time on your phone, playing games, trying new apps. So what Fan Fueled does is we turn that time into real donations. You complete simple tasks, downloading an app, reaching a level in a game, starting the free trial, and the money that generates goes straight to Cards for Kids. It's funded entirely by advertisers, so it won't cost you guys anything. No spending, no subscriptions, nothing to buy. Getting started is really quick. You guys can pull out your phone and scan this QR code, and it'll take you to the link. You just sign up, check it out, check out the games, the apps available, pick anything that looks fun, complete it, and watch your contribution show in real time. So here's my ask. If you guys can, pull out your phone really quick and scan this code, share it with your friends, your family, anyone you can think of. Every task anyone completes really does add up. And like he said, it can help cover shipping, future scholarships. It really is beneficial. Thank you.
Thank you. And it is like we included the organization. So if it is something like, going back to Alan, what we're talking about with the student program, if his chapter was wanting to do it, they can all, write that. Or I saw we had Edie on, and she was wanting to do her, who is that, Salisbury University? Yeah, Salisbury, I think, or whatever their university, their chapter, being able to do it. And that way we'd be able to track and see how much the different groups are raising as a whole. And this is something where I've looked into it, and there's some, with my experience of seeing all kinds of ads and people reaching out to me and getting things, and this is one before putting it on a slide and before putting it in there, I tested it myself and can say, I'm EK and I approve this message. It is, don't get me wrong, there was some ads that were a little bit longer, but I think it's with our partners at Fan Fueled. You can talk to, if there's any ads or things like that that are too much, use the same info email, respond, and we can get those removed. But it's something that it was enjoyable experience and something that is very helpful for our organization. So, another thing, what I was talking about is that we have going on right now between the 2nd through the 8th is our Kendra Scott fundraiser. That's the code that we have here. We've been putting it out on social media. Give Back MJAWT. And with it, the benefits is kind of everybody wins all around. One, for our people who are shopping, it's get a new piece of jewelry and can make a difference. For me, it's got a piece for my mom and my sister. For us, how it's helpful for us is Kendra Scott donates 20% of what you purchase. And then for our partners, you can see some of the examples here, but they are donating some of the jewelry for how much money we raise. So it's helping our organization, helping our nonprofit partners, and you're being rewarded as well. So one of those things where it's really a win-win-win situation all around. If you use that promo code, Give Back MJAWT. Okay. So now we're getting into the part here, August 5th, the Cardz For Kidz and into the scholarship part. So with it, talked about it last year. I realized when it was starting it, and I mentioned it earlier, it's always been a dream of mine to launch the scholarship because I realized my experience, what I say is it's not fair. My brain surgery was on August 5th, 2005 and started classes that month. But looking into it, everything was already set up, already was on scholarship at the school that was close to my house. So it was started classes later that month, wasn't able to drive and wasn't sure, but thankfully had a connection to a neighbor who was able to drive me to school. So really realizing things were really advantageous for me and trying and understanding now, looking into it, that not everyone has that kind of benefits. And that's one of the reasons wanting to make sure that launching this scholarship goes into place. I know one of the prior winners that we had to change schools so that they could be closer to their medical hospital where they were getting their treatment. So with it, something I won't forget, I'll never forget, is my first ever exam after the surgery was my marketing exam, trying to remember the 4 Ps. Couldn't do it, was struggling, would always get 3 and couldn't remember the fourth. And that's kind of like transitioning to some of the students who were serving, you know, thinking of it from a school perspective, like product, like what are they actually going to be learning from school? What is their focal point? Will this school have the major that they want to do? Will it be, what are they actually going to be learning? And then, as I was kind of mentioning, place, where is this located? Is this located to where for some of the people we're serving, is this located close enough to where they're getting the treatment? Or for some of the youth that we're serving, is this far enough away where they're safe and secure? So that's a big thing. And then promotion, that is a huge thing. Just coming back, how to utilize it. Just came back from a Michigan alumni event where I was able to connect with other alumni. And so how will you be able to use that degree and, promote it and advertise and market yourself afterwards? And I couldn't remember the 4 Ps, so I would love to that's where we step in and be able to say, it's okay if you're struggling on the fourth one, we're here to help. And that's kind of what the point of the scholarship is focusing on the first 3, and we're here to help with the final one. So with this year, I think that's the first time I've ever told that story without it being dry in the room. So I'm proud of myself, making progress there. This year we had over 700 applicants and multiple rounds of proofing. 3 different judges used AI, did all different kinds of stuff to narrow it down, and that's all before getting it to the panel of judges to narrow it down. And what we were looking into is making sure that it was students who are passionate about community service, actually giving back, not just something where it was I volunteered once here or there, but people who are community service and giving back was a part of their something that they were part of and was important to them. Something that they were also not looking into people who were saying like, I have a 3.9, or it's interesting these days, people are like, oh, I have a 4.2 GPA. I didn't know you can get above that. But, not those kind of people who are like pushing on their GPAs and highlighting that. Like that's something that wasn't really as valuable for us, but we're looking for people who were giving back, interested in furthering their education, and were overcoming a wide variety of situations. So taking a pause to thank our partners, UKG and DPT. They were our sponsors for this year's scholarship. And the moment we've all been waiting for, let's hope this works here. I had to switch it up. Yes, so Cooper, Emily, and Malachi, hope that pronounced those correctly. Those are after all of the thousands or hundreds of applicants and the multiple rounds and the eyes of revision, that was who we selected. So we also heard from all of their references as well. So we'll be following up with you guys to get the next steps, getting the student IDs from everyone and making sure that things are set to go with the schools. Okay.
So amazing. Thank you so much. It's incredible. I know I'm probably speaking on behalf of all of us right now, but yeah, I just want to say like it's truly an honor. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Thank you. As you guys should, record-setting a number of applicants and multiple rounds of judges joining in, and ranging from professionals in HR, and then AI. So yes, all different types of things, and you guys were the ones who were selected. So thank you guys very much. That is impressive. So we'll be following up with that. And now as we're going through that part now, kind of as we're getting into the transition to for this Cards for Kids part, kind of transitioning as we're all preparing with the art supplies. The reminder, kind of mentioned it before, equal opportunity encouragers, sending cards all around the world, but even just here in the US alone, we need cards in a wide variety of languages. So anyone here are some examples of languages that we need. And I was actually talking to a volunteer who stopped by our table yesterday and was talking about the um, differences like Brazilian Portuguese versus Portugal Portuguese. So we have partnerships in Brazil. So anyone with those kinds of details, making cards in those other languages that are on there, that would be greatly appreciated. And it's also cards. I have bags that I'm going to be making since made a connection today to expand that, and cards, bags, and bookmarks. We'll have it here. So some examples of text that use, different kinds of puns and positive messages. The main thing is, if you can think about this is this time 21 years ago, I was getting brain surgery for my epilepsy. Uh, Time slide. But I'll go back to it. Brain surgery for my epilepsy. And someone gave me a card that said, get well soon, feel better, or stay strong, or sun comes out, or what is it? The rainbow comes out. There's a rainbow after every storm, something like that. Any kind of thing hinting at my condition, that would be very discouraging. That would not be the kind of thing that's uplifting and positive and making me take my mind off the situation. So these cards here, what we say is not including anything that is referring, or at least let's say this artwork, nothing that refers to what the people are going through, but just a positive, we say positive proclamation. And this is all over our website, but if you wanted to jot it down, the address for where to send your completed artwork to, here, our address, 516 North Ogden, 177. And it's an example of the page on our Create Cards, and it's also on the Contact Us and throughout that. I think that's it. Okay. Are there any questions? Okay.
EK, if there's no questions, I was just going to make a comment. If you could flip back to the fan fueled slide, just wanted to kind of highlight that folks can email. We're excited for you guys to, download the games and start playing, when you have time. I think it's a great opportunity to both have fun and get some, donations for Cards for Kids. But there's also, you can also email. There's a link there. You can email info@cardsforkids.org, and you'll get a one pager, which has some tips and tricks that'll help you and actually has some kind of instructions how to make sure you downloaded the game and the app right and that it's kind of being credited correctly to Cards for Kids. So definitely please, email back at that one pager and you can kind of make sure that that it got set up correctly for you.
Yes, that's a great point. Yeah, because we, working on Fanfield, put together based on a few of us playing it, came back with feedback, and this is like a helpful thing to make sure that it all goes through. So, yes, you can include that info at Cards for Kids, making sure that there's Z's both times, and we will send you that one sheeter. Okay. Yep, now I can see Gabby was there. I see a hand raised.
Hi, yes, Mr. Ike. I just first wanted to say that I really admire your mission as somebody that's grown up in and out of the hospital. Like, I've I completely resonate with this, and I've actually been somebody who has been impacted by the Cards for Kids organization. I remember being little in the hospital and just like seeing all the positive messages that would come in, and it really was so inspiring. I wanted to ask you more about how we can begin to register for the scholarship next year. I'm going into my senior year of high school, and this is just an opportunity that is super interesting to me because I'm also a pageant girl. I'm very into community service. I'm the Miss Broward County's Team 2026. And I'm actually here because me and Alan, we work closely together in community service. So I'm here supporting him. And Alan, that was really great job that you did. And I would just like to know more information on how to begin the application process because it's something that is truly, truly important to me.
Yes, so let me make sure I don't lose that. There we go. Put it in the chat of the scholarship page. So if you do follow that, it's the scholarship usually runs collecting applications between January 1st through March 31st. That's the estimated time for when you can apply. And it is just submitting the application when it opens up through that time. And it is something where we're kind of looking for, as mentioned, people who are giving back to the community as well as what they've overcome. Okay. Are there any other questions before we got to work on the artwork? I see. See, that's my mom. She couldn't wait. It's like he's talking too much. I've heard him enough. Yes. Okay. And Jennifer's like, yes, I agree. So she's part of the team and she hears me talk a lot as well. So okay. All right. So I think it is anyone, you can feel free to make any kind of card that you're interested in. I know one thing we would like to do is take a picture of everyone, like at least holding up one of their cards. Like, that's one of our um, traditions. I know I'm guessing we lost a lot of people join in to see if they won and then leave. But if possible, if we could do people making the cards, and if you make one, like to do a picture of people with their cards at the end, kind of celebrating Cards for Kids Day and what was made. So that would be great. So it is, feel free to use whatever kind of artwork. And if there are any kinds of questions, some of the things like, if you're thinking of making a card and have a question on the theme, like, is this okay? Or is this, bottom line? And I just want to say, like, my mom and I think Jennifer can tell, like, I guarantee you, and guarantee can put me on it. We can shake contract. You can't make a card worse than what we've received. Like, yes, when you see her smiling, yes, you see them smiling. We got a card that I can't describe because this is being recorded and will be posted. But yeah, I promise you, we've received worse cards than anything you guys can make. So that is a promise. And it is a story that for back in the early days when we used to spell our name with S's, it was back, I would just hand deliver the cards. It was just at work, people who were making it, and then I deliver cards after my volunteer shifts. And I would have stories for the kids about how some people drew pictures all day, aka the creative department, and some people just did math problems, or engineers. And so that was my way of describing like why some of the cards weren't as pretty. And so I would tell them that story. And there's one child where I was telling him that story, interrupted me and said, I can tell they tried really hard. So it is with these kids, effort, or sorry, I shouldn't say these kids because now we're equal opportunity encouragers, seniors as well. These people, it is the effort that counts with the artwork that you're making. Okay. You know, it's jokes are often good. Like if you do look on our page, we have a lot of Friday funnies and Monday motivations posts that we post on there, consistently share. So those can provide some ideas as well. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with one of my classics here. Does anyone speak any other languages? You can put it in the chat or okay. Spanish is yeah, Spanish and French. Those the French ones are big. It's French goes like ranging from France, Quebec, also Haiti. So yeah, it's a wide array. Spanish the same, like here in the US, Mexico, Spain. And then I think Vietnamese was just a request. Let me see. I didn't know that yeah, we had a new partner in Australia who just asked for a lot of different languages. Let's see if because it's our goal is we try to give our partners like any kind of language that they prefer, they want, just so the people who are receiving them feel that the card was made exactly for them. So, okay. Say, don't have Vietnamese yet. We'll see. We'll see if that's in the next round. Mm, let's see. I think she left. I was gonna see. We do have. It seems we get a lot of cards from Girl Scout troops, and then a lot of cards from. Uh, I think like what Gabby was referring to, like different pageants. And I don't. Do they have like like get like? Do they have what is it like male pageants? Like are those?
I'm pretty sure that things like that exist. Like I've definitely seen a couple of those, but for example, the organization that I'm a part of, I'm part of the Miss America organization. A lot of the girls, they'll like a bunch of us queens will get together and we'll like make cards and everything. It's just like a super
Mhm.
cool experience.
And is it so? Is it like Miss America versus Miss USA? It's like Miss America is the one that has the volunteering involved in it.
Yeah, it's very volunteering like oriented, and it's also it gives out scholarships.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've gotten, yeah, we've received some cards from uh, a few, you know, Miss America pageant winners or pageant participants.
So, EK, we're making cards now.
Yes, this is, yes. People making cards and want to do uh, a picture of people post with their cards for it. So people who waited to make their cards, unlike, not everyone was hopping to it, you know.
So, who is the contact that you made with more bags?
Uh, I always get them confused. South South Carolina, but it was Charleston. There we go. Yes, Ronald McDonald House Charities of Charleston. Thank you for thinking of us. That would be such a nice and big help for the house. Let me know what I need to do to support the effort.
So they're wanting lunch bags.
Yeah. So, we send some, trying to figure out, just message through Instagram, figuring out how many they want, if this is on top, because I think one of our South Carolina partners, they how they set it up is they receive cards that they distribute to all their local hospitals. They include in bags and include in things for their local hospitals. And I'm not sure if that's how they want it, or if they want to decrease the amount of cards that they're getting and switch it with bags. So it's just getting an idea. And then we'll be able to get a sense for the total amount of cards that we'll need between our nonprofit partners. Okay. Thank you, Dan, for jumping on. So Dan is one of the key helpers. He's helping set things up where people will be able to, one, will be able to update all of our data, and then also being able to send the notifications to our partners, notifications to people that they've received their cards. So he's helping with that process. And did you guys have an idea that you won the scholarship? Did you have a feeling? No? Okay.
I didn't know. I kind of thought we were all joining to just like make cards and then it would be announced at the end. So yeah.
Mhm. Did your references tell you that you were talked to, like that I reached out? Oh, they keep a good secret. And thank you, because it's California is where we have a lot of participation. A lot of the tech companies um, join in. So it's good that we are making contributions to California as well, we can say, or evening things out. And we'll follow up with you guys directly afterwards to go over next steps and such. And so before we um, lose more people, did anyone have a bag or some artwork to do? That can we do a picture for this that we can use in the future?
I have something that was made last year.
Okay. Wait, is that other people willing to?
I have a start on mine. It's nothing like crazy. I don't even know if you can make out the little guitar.
Tell them what
But
it is.
Yeah, you rock. That's
I say you rock, and I have a little guitar and a music note, but I'm like tracing it right now. So
excellent. Excellent. Okay,
I'm
see
like
that's
I'm a music major, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do something musical.
excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about
Anyone?
how about this one? Oh, hold on.
Okay. 'Cause I just want to see if we can get a selfie, or not a selfie, but a screenshot that we can use to share when we promote this. So, Cooper, I'll give you guys. If I give you $5,000, will you take a picture? Cooper, Emily, is that cool? Oh,
I mean, I'll do it for free. I mean,
okay. There we go.
I'm slowly making mine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, that's tough with my background. Okay. Let's see where my little do. All right. One, two, three. All right. That's good. Okay. See, I'll put it in the. Can I put it in there? So we're going to be very. I don't know if you've been following. We're going to be very active on social media this week. So we have all kinds of things that we've been doing um, in the neighborhood and with local police. But this is Cards for Kids Day, so we want to make sure that we'll share this one. So anyone have that in there? Let me know if there's anyone's like, no, that definitely doesn't work. We need to do another one. Just let me know and we can redo it. Should be in the chat. stat.